To the citizens of the world, we are anonymous. During these past few days, the city of Kobane has been under continuous attacks by ISIS militants. Many conclude that this event, like others, have shifted towards genocide, a word that in this day and age, we use very lightly. We here at Anonymous salute and support the citizens of Kobane. As Kobane fights ISIS, countries stand by and watch. The creation and funding of terrorist groups by the US and its allies are known to the world, and for years, this has been the forehand act of the United States government in pursuit of the Greater Middle East Initiative. The President's authorization of airstrikes on ISIS targets serves a purpose to remind ourselves which countries are bankrolling this deadly terror group. We all know the answer. 3 of the United States' biggest allies in the region, Saudi Arabia, Turkey and Qatar, along with others, hide under the veil of secrecy, and are overshadowed by filth and corruption. Surprisingly, even the mainstream media has reported that members of ISIS themselves were trained by the United States government. Military instructors, working at secret bases in Jordan, gave training to these militants, with the goal of targeting the regime of Syrian President al-Assad. U.S. Vice President Joe Biden U-turned and criticized Turkey and U.S. allies in the Arab world for supporting Sunni militant groups such as the Islamic State. Soon after, he apologized for accidentally revealing the truth. At this rate, ISIS will become a force that will never perish. Their name may vanish, but their twisted ideology will only splinter itself to form more terror cells if the US and its allies continue to attack ISIS. Many Syrian fighters condemn US attacks on ISIS, and have henceforth defected themselves to ISIS, bringing along US weaponry and military tactics. Turkish banks have also been laundering jihadist money through gas sales. Planes have been caught flying with weapons from the Gulf to Turkey, thus heading to jihadists. Ammunition and rocket warheads have also been caught in trucks secured by intelligence, whose drivers claimed they were carrying aid on behalf of the pro-Islamic Humanitarian Relief Foundation heading to Syria. Local media reported that Turkey had shipped 47 tons of weapons to the rebels since June. Kurds in Turkey are both angry and disappointed at their government's perceived inaction over ISIS in recent months. Thousands of protesters, whom are pro-Kobane, were on the streets in many of the main cities of both Turkey and in Europe, rather than helping the people of Kobane who were just miles away. Kurdish citizens based in Turkey clashed, and have been severely injured by the hands of Turkish security forces by the use of tear gas and water cannons. The demonstrators were only expressing their support for Kurdish fighters in Syria trying to stop the advancement of ISIS. President Erdogan needs to explain why its security forces prevent, detain, and directly attack journalists reporting on Kobane within the Turkish border. They need to explain why those who are against ISIS are being kidnapped and beaten. They need to explain why those who side with ISIS have not been prosecuted in Turkish territories. The Turkish government has placed a curfew in 5 cities, and in 9 districts. Armed radical paramilitaries, unleashed by the ruling party AKP, along with the fascist cops of Turkey, have killed 14 people in pro-Kobane protests. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan slips the real reason for military action, saying that the Turkish priority is to take down the government of Syria. The people of Kobane are fighting tirelessly for the very struggle of existence. We are fighting, not for the schemes and strategies around meeting tables, not for income, but for their freedoms and yours. We will show the world that it is not only the people in Kobane that are being brutalized, but humanity is under attack by ISIS and corrupt governments. And the best way to combat ISIS is with knowledge. The best way to combat the Turkish government is with coordinated cyber attacks. The best way to support the people in Kobane is to make others aware of this perilous situation. We will take action on terminating this carnage and the inhumane acts taking place, for freedom, and for its most basic rights. We will unleash our fury towards the government of Turkey and its pathetic cyber infrastructure. You will expose ISIS for what it really is, using your voice, and us both. We will support the people in Kobane to the very best of our ability. Operation Kobane. engaged. Operation ISIS, engaged. Operation Turkey, engaged. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.